I can just get to the previews.
All right, so we're not going to do any extensive preview or anything, but basically we're just going to say what games we're most excited for. Actually, first up, no, we'll do that at the end. Most exciting games. What tickles your fancy this weekend?
Well, I'm trying to not let my newly drafted team get in the way of this.
I've never considered that, to be honest. I've got my 5
But
for now.
the clear number one game is the Saints Buccaneers.
Yeah, big time.
I think that's globally agreed upon. Not really much to say.
That's my number one, and it's on TV, which is beautiful for us because we don't get access to every game. So
6:30 a.m. But I'll probably set the alarm for that one.
Is it 6:30? I thought it was 7:25. I thought it was that. You know how there's like 2 games at 7:25?
6:25 because daylight savings hasn't come around yet.
That's actually a very good point. That must be soon though. Daylight savings.
Yeah, it's October.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's pretty early, especially when there's an F1 race finishing about 2 a.m. So I might not be sleeping, fellas. Yeah, that's my number one. Easy. Buccaneers basically a new team this year. New QB. Actually, it's not that different, is it? New QB, pretty new running back group, new tight end. So yeah, they should be really exciting. They're good on both sides of the ball as well. They've got a pretty good defense, so it's just going to be fascinating to see, really.
Yeah.
And then it's a huge test for them first up against the Saints. And I know it's only week 1, but I think this game has pretty big divisional consequences already. I think the series between the Bucks and Saints will pretty much decide who wins that division. I'm pretty big on the Saints. I think they will be Super Bowl contenders, not so much the Bucks. But I've heard people saying the Bucks will make the Super Bowl. I was listening to a podcast the other day, and some people were saying that. And so I think if the Saints win tomorrow, they've already got a leg up in that division. So yeah, it's going to be a pretty big game. Interesting to see how Brady goes in a different offense. Really, that's going to be the main question mark. And who better to test yourself against one of the best teams in your division? Well, the best team. Next, second, I've got, this is at the exact same time, so it's not ideal, but I think it might be on the other channel. I've got the Cardinals versus the 49ers. Not too many changes to either of these sides. 49ers basically go unchanged. The only change I can think of is like they've lost to Forrest Buckner and Matt Breida, but they're pretty much going to be the same. Oh, and they drafted Brandon Ayuk, but I'm not too sure if he's playing. And then the Cardinals, they obviously traded for DeAndre Hopkins. So they're going to be pretty exciting just because of that. And they drafted Isaiah Simmons, one of the most exciting draft prospects I've seen at linebacker position. So excited to see how he goes. And we were talking about it. The linebacker often lines up on the tight end. So we could see Simmons v. Kittle, which would be a very big test for someone on their debut. But if there's someone who could do it, it wouldn't surprise me if it was him. Are you excited for that one?
Yeah, that's definitely up there as well. Both teams are going to be very good this season. Expecting a lot of improvement from the Cardinals, so it'll be definitely interesting to see.
Yeah. By the way, what are your picks for those 2 games?
I'll go original and say the Saints and 49ers. I can't really see
I'm the same.
too much chance of upsets occurring, but I do think they might be close ones.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I think the Saints will win pretty well, not comfortably, but I don't know. I think it's a big ask in the first game of the Bucks Brady relationship to beat the Saints. And yeah, I think the 49ers are still a lot better than the Cardinals, despite their Hopkins pickup. Next up, I've got the Browns versus Ravens. Once again, not too many changes to these 2 teams. The Browns, they've added Austin Hooper. But that's about all I can think of, really. I know they've steadied up their O-line, which should see better production from Baker Mayfield. And then the Ravens are basically the same team, plus Khalid Campbell and I guess J.K. Dobbins. But yeah, so pretty excited for this one. Browns are expected to bounce back from an underperforming year last year. And who knows, this could... I think this is one of the most exciting divisions, I'd say, the AFC North, with Bengals and the Steelers. So yeah, I think who knows, the Browns, if they win, could really shake up that division early, although the Ravens are being picked to win it pretty comfortably. In terms of the match, I hate to be boring, but I'm going to go the Ravens again. I just think this limited preseason stuff just suits the teams who were good last year, so I hate to be a dog, but yeah, I'll go the Ravens, and hopefully Lamar snags a big 50-pointer. But yeah, what are you backing the Ravens in that one?
They should win, but I'm gonna go left field and lock in the Browns as my tip.
Yeah,
just
like
as a smoky. I am expecting the Browns to go big this year compared to what they did last year. So
yeah, I respect it. I'm also expecting a Greedy Williams breakout as a top 10 cornerback in the league. That's just a random call there. But any other games you're excited for?
This one has just been bolstered by the fantasy draft, but it was one of my ones before it as well. The Cowboys-Rams, I just think it'll be a shootout, quite a high-scoring match. So I think there'll be a lot of deep balls being thrown by Goff and Dak. Not too much has really changed necessarily from the two teams, but I just think it'll be a good spectacle.
Yeah, I don't know. It could be a shootout, but I don't know. I'm interested to see how it plays out. Both teams, they're not unknowns, but no one knows exactly how good they're going to be. The Rams could bounce back, be Super Bowl contenders. They could be like last year, go 9-7. Cowboys could come out, same thing, be Super Bowl contenders, or they could scrape into the playoffs. So it's going to be interesting to see how both teams look. I know it's only week 1, so we can't really expect too much, but it'll be interesting to see how Dallas's offense, which is star-studded everywhere you look, how they go up against the most destructive defensive lineman in all of NFL. So that is Aaron Donald. So we'll see how they go. And also Jalen Ramsey up against Amari Cooper, which will be pretty exciting. Yeah. But yeah, definitely came for that one. If I had to tip that, I'm actually tempted to tip the Rams just because it's Mike McCarthy's first game with the Cowboys. I'm backing them in, Rams, baby. I'm not too sure what they're going to do on offense. I guess Goff should bounce back this year. It was pretty bad last year. But I'll back them. I'll back their defense in to put on a show. They were not as good as expected last year. So, yeah, I don't know. It's probably going to be the Cowboys, isn't it? But who are you backing in there?
Yeah, I'm gonna say the Cowboys.
Yeah, fair enough. And then won't really go into these games because we've been talking for long enough. But some other games that are spicy: Steelers, Giants. It would just be interesting to see how both offenses go. Really, big test for the Giants against the Steelers defense, but it'll be interesting to see how Big Ben goes in his return game. Dolphins, Patriots. It's just going to be interesting to see how Patriots post Tom Brady goes. Really, interested to see if Newton's great. Interested to see if their defense is good, despite 4 blokes opting out. And then the Dolphins, a lot of new pieces added to their side, so we'll see how they go. And then 2 other quick ones: Seahawks, Falcons. Neither team has really seen too many changes apart from adding a running back to each of their running back groups. But yeah, we'll see how they go. That's a pretty top quality match, always has been for like the last 5 years. And then to wrap us off, the Packers-Vikings. That's been similarly pretty good for the last 5 years, so they'll continue that rivalry. And we'll see how they go, because I know the Vikings will probably, if Dalvin plays, they'll probably try and run it down their throat. And then they've got big Preston Smith and Zadarius Smith to stop them. So that'll be a pretty good matchup there. But yeah, and also I guess you got Harrison Smith and the boys up against Devontae Adams and Rodgers. So that's interesting. But yeah, that's pretty much all we've got for you today.
Queensland! It's a miracle! Oh, yeah! What about that one? No! Unbelievable! Balotelli! Aguero! Crowd cheers. Here's Siddle.